Good morning, everyone. It's Mobology again. This is a special, kind of a special recording of Bela Ruge because it's more focused on a project that my co-host is working on. Again, my name is Mobology and my co-host is Malik. Let's just go straight into the project. So tell us a bit about it. What is it about?
The project, I call it Pan African Center for now. It's short form of, and the short form is PAC. It's about the idea actually arose from the fact that African material and human resources have been underused. We have not been able to use our own resources, whether material or human resources. And the reason is because of our ideology, our background, our historical past that we are not even aware of. So we are not very conscious of our environment and we are not even conscious of how to go about things. So I'm trying to create this kind of particular institution, a kind of school for young people from these grade classes and then to high school and then to A level in the whereby they can actually where we can train them and provide special syllabus that I'm already preparing, which is in progress. And this is not the first I'm doing such a thing. There was a time I live in Germany. I have my bachelor's in education and in humanities and a master's in African studies. And currently, I'm pursuing a PhD in in cultural studies with focus also on West Africa, whereby I'm doing how realities affect our daily activities. So now, there was a time I created this project in Germany because I noticed that more than 90% of Africans or mixed children in Germany never made it to university. So if you see any black person at the university, he or she is most likely to have traveled in at a particular uh, period. So this is why I created this project. I got fundings and everything, and the students started performing well. I created the syllabus, and I also teach them African history because I want them to be conscious because I realized that they were not really conscious about who they are. So I started doing this, and students that I were getting 30% before now started getting 60, 70, 80, even, yeah, 100% actually. And also, because in Germany, the school syllabus states that Africans are poor, they were helpless, they're full of disease and everything. So these students, when they listen to this in classes, they started challenging their teachers and everything. In fact, a teacher confronted me that the students are becoming radical, but actually they were not radical. They were actually trying to claim their rights. So I remember a student who questioned a teacher whenever the teacher would give him bad grade, but whenever and what bad grade are they giving? He said he's too timid in class. So I had to go and ask. This is a child that is very smart. The teacher changed the word. He said, no, it's too radical. I said, you called it timid before, now you say radical. The student said, whenever he raised his hand, the teacher never called. He will call somebody else. He will still give him grade in oral performance that the boy is not responding. So all of this, the students are not reacting. To cut long story short, um, the funding was cut due to other these political reasons. We all know how these things work. So I believe this project would work if I started, and because I've done it before, and it will actually have great implications on our youth, especially.
Wonderful. So tell us a bit. So, what inspired? You've actually shared what inspired you. So, actually, tell us a bit more in depth about what this school will be about. So, what are the values that you're bringing to this particular project that is unique to this school that other schools wouldn't necessarily have, or other easily accessible, like other schools in in Africa and in the diaspora might not particularly have, that makes
Yes,
the project stand out? Yeah.
yes. Like I said before, this is a Pan African education. It's going to be the syllabus is mainly the center of education will be mainly Afrocentric. So we are going to be evolving from within, and we are bringing together tutors, not teachers, but tutors, instructors who will be working with students to create an environment to solve problems
Mm-hmm.
and use what we have in our environment, our knowledge, our people, and material, everything we have to solve the problems of our environment rather than looking out for aids and for help every time. So I have created 10 features of the school that is uncommon to most schools of the world. Probably you will find this kind of feature probably in some Asian, like South Korea or Japan, I don't know. But these are the 10 features. Number one of it is critical thinking, which is include also meditation and African spiritual humanism. And as well as all of this will come together to replace religion in the school because Africans don't do religion actually. And our dean of religion is actually one of the challenges we are having in Africa. Number two is the integration between academic, digital, and indigenous knowledge. So we are going to integrate all of these together and then they will be interrelated. So this student can also create from some, so it's a kind of continuation. It's a process, not just something that is already finished. So for example, we have in some Yoruba society, we have those people that produce pots and they've been doing pottery work for hundreds of years. So this student have to see how it is being produced and then reproduce and develop it further because we need to learn to develop things and packaging also matter. So these are things that students would have access to. And also, number three is histories. We are going to be studying our history from antique age to present day. So we are going to be looking at different changes that take place and how it affects our people. We are also going to be looking at some of the pitfalls of some of our many African figures. At the same time, we are also going to be looking at some of the complexities that surround us, how all of these are being propagated. So history will be compulsory subject for every student, and they will study different forms of it. Number four, school uniforms, shoes, everything in this way will be made by from in the indigenous perspective. So we are thinking of clothes like kente, like adire, tie and dye, like ashobi. These are things we inculcate in the students' uniform. So we choose which one they wear at a particular day. And for sport, we also have uniform that will be created. Even the shoes they will wear, we will be able to also create we will employ people within the community that will be helping us to create all of these things so that we don't give money away. So we are also creating local markets and also giving employment to people, not because they are educated, they were extremely educated, but because they are also creative. So we are appreciating them through this way. Number five is that all students will use African language. So the campus language will be African language. For example, this school is going to be created in southwestern Nigeria. So the campus language is going to be Yoruba. So every student will speak Yoruba. And they should be able to speak, no matter even if they come from US to come and study with us, with time, Yoruba will become their mother tongue. And they will also learn every aspect of Yoruba culture. Number six is that students will also be able to select from dozens of vocational and technical subjects whereby they can learn and explore their own creativity. All of this will also merge indigenous knowledge with also the technologies that we have nowadays. So we are going to merge them together. Students are going to be creating themselves from this perspective. Number seven is oral practical written abilities will be developed in students. And with time, students will be able to identify with one or two of these because we know that everybody has what they like best. Some people like reading, some people like writing, and others like speaking more. So oral tradition has been well developed among Africans before contact with the Western world. So there is nothing new here. We are just going to inculcate and integrate it into our system of education. Number eight is sports, games, and creativities will be part of daily activities and daily classes of students. So they will be able to do all these things on daily basis. Number nine is leadership, business, career building. All of these, we are going to also begin to train our children from class one. They will have to understand how to manage things, how to create rather than be consumers. And number 10 is more or less closer to that as well, is discipline, moral values. We will have respect for themselves as African. They will have respect for their color, their hair, and everything that is theirs. They will have 100% respect for it. And then they will respect fellow Africans. They will respect fellow men, fellow women, and they will respect everything that is theirs. We will also train other aspects of discipline, such as punctuality, self-control, emotional intelligence. So these are things that we are going to really pay attention to and publish very well, because everybody is a leader in the school. So that's it.
Wow. You make me want to have children. I used to be scared about having children, but at least now I know that there could be a place, you know, where children who look like me could feel human and have the agency to create value in the world. It's a beautiful vision. So what next? Where next? Where are you going?
For now, I'm looking for social media marketing experts
Mm-hmm.
who can help us to develop a kind of strategy of advertising our school, our institution, our idea. And then we are looking for funding. Because this is still a process, this aspect is still a process. I'm creating syllabus, because anybody who wants to even do anything has to know that you're already prepared. So I'm trying to prepare myself. But we are looking for people who found the project or invest or both. We are looking for them, and we're also looking for like-minded people who can also give us suggestions. With time, I will also be looking for instructors, and this is going to be strictly selected. So we are looking for people to support us. So support is all we need. I've gotten support from somebody has recommended a very, very important member of USAID. I've said that I should send my proposal. After he has seen what I did, I said, no, I'm not doing that. I've also had somebody who also recommended me to somebody who is an American, but I said, no, I prefer Euro-American. So I don't want that. I want this to come to be supported by Africans and there are blacks all over the world who will be ready to see us progress and who will be ready to see us up at the top. So this is what I'm looking forward to.
Beautiful. So I guess how do you want people to contact you? Do you have a particular channels and email? Can people send you a message on your Facebook? What's the best way for people to contact you if they're interested in joining us?
On Facebook, the Facebook name is Adeolu Malik. And if you want to send me an email, it's am for j85@yahoo.de. am that is number j85@yahoo.de. I hope you will write it also on the
Yeah, I will also write it at the end of the video. Okay, so well, thank you so much for sharing your vision. I'm really excited. This is an amazing seed to begin planting, and I'm very hopeful that, how do I say, I'm very hopeful that we get, you know, the needed energies to birth such an amazing and important vision, because I've known you for a while, and I know that if there's anyone that should lead this kind of project, it should be you.
Thank you. And also, I'm available every now and then to do Zoom meetings with
Okay,
people.
awesome.
Maybe you have a group organization or something you want me to present my projects for a few minutes, I can do that. As a matter of fact, I have one this Sunday, and I'm already, if anybody sends me an email, I can actually link the person up. I'm still giving, I can a link so that we can all have meeting and talk together. I want to present it, have feedback, and also you want to listen. Even if you are going to do anything, you still want to know what this is all about, so we can talk more about it.
Yes. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, and let me know how things goes. I'm really hoping we get some interested parties from this conversation. Okay. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.